Blah, 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 blah. Still catching up on GAC. Only got 3 to go, I think. Um, yeah. New week of GAC starts today. Today? Yeah. Have both of my new GLs in there, so I got all 4 GLs, only 2 of whom have ultimates because I wanted to get both first. I'm 1 ultimate mat away from one of the 2 new ultimates, and then I gotta start the grind for the next set. It has been expensive. I have been vaulting like maybe once every 3 days to max out my energy refreshes. If I didn't do the 800s, it wouldn't be so bad. The 800s are the absolute worst bang for your buck. But I gotta make up for a number of losses and the fact that I only had about 3,000 energy saved up when the events dropped. It's okay. I haven't, prior to the GLs, I really hadn't spent a whole lot of money on the game in a very, very, very long time. So I'm just making up for lost time, I guess. So it is what it is. At least I'm having fun. I hadn't had fun in quite some time, so I'm having fun now. Yeah. So that's good. I'm actually losing steam with Game of Thrones because they started out really strong, a lot of new content, a lot of characters, don't require spending. They still don't really require spending. I really don't spend in Game of Thrones, but they have now added Battalion Wars, which is territory wars, except it's simmed, which is interesting. They haven't yet done it. This weekend will be the first Battalion Wars for Game of Thrones. And when I say it's simmed, you basically set a bunch of teams, like just like in Star Wars, just like in Swigo, with a setup phase. But then when it comes to battling, you pick what teams are in front of you and what of your teams you are going to use to fight that team. And the battle is, from what I understand, simmed. Which is interesting. Good, I guess you could say, because unlike TW in Swigo, we're not going to be spending all day watching it and waiting for zones to open. It will depend on a select few players that will have to essentially sim the battles. So I guess that's good, but then simming it is kind of anticlimactic. Again, this hasn't happened yet. The first one will be this weekend, so it'll either be a great success or colossal failure. We shall see. But regardless, I am having more fun in Swigo again. Constant gacking notwithstanding. But yeah, I think that the new GLs are really good. Perhaps not as game breaking as the original GLs, but in fairness, we had never had anything like the original GLs before they came out. At least with the new GLs, we kind of know a little bit what to expect in terms of how OP they are. But that being said, I don't have either ultimate yet, so I haven't really seen them. But I don't know if these GLs are as OP as the original ones. Again, small sample size in terms of testing, even smaller sample size in terms of testing with ultimates. So that could all very well change very rapidly within the next week or so as more and more people unlock their ultimates and do extensive testing. So we'll see. But ultimately, I am fairly content with Swigo, considering how disenfranchised I was for a good long while. I'm also part of my reinvigoration can certainly be attributed to Mando Season 2 coming out and any and all of the characters and events and content that we may get or will likely get as a result of Mando Season 2. It's the only real Star Wars media that is coming out for the foreseeable future. Sure, they have plans for Kenobi series, mini-series, Cassian Andor mini-series or series. But with COVID, I don't think that they have been able to start filming any of that. Whereas, luckily for us, Mando Season 2 was done with filming when COVID really hit in earnest. So it was just all the post-production stuff, maybe some pickups. Most of the special effects and stuff, I'm sure, were all done during COVID. So it may actually work out because filming seems to have resumed for a number of projects. I follow a couple of the actresses from Lucifer, shouldn't come as a surprise, on Instagram, and they are all back filming for the show. So that is promising. Hopefully they all stay safe and healthy, because if they can do it, then other shows can do it for sure. And I think for the most part, Mando, and I've said this before, one of the best things about Star Wars is that you can very easily have half, if not more, of your entire cast wearing a mask or some kind of face covering as part of the show. So that's extremely beneficial. Really, the only main characters we have to worry about in terms of COVID are Cara Dune and Greef Karga, because pretty much everyone else you can get away with having a mask. You can install an N95 or a respirator inside their mask or helmet. Everyone else, that is. So that's great news. We know Jon Favreau is already writing Season 3. Hopefully they can get some sort of a green light to film it in the not-too-distant future. And then you never know. By November, December, January, February, we could very well have a viable vaccine, which will make... Well, I won't say it'll make it moot, but it'll certainly be a lot more conducive to filming shows and movies, because, I mean, the amount of digital content that has been consumed over the last 7 months is tremendous. Although, surprisingly, Netflix's subscriber numbers missed expectations today. So that stock took a dive. I didn't read the full earnings report. I just saw the headline. But I would be curious as to what or whom exactly took those subscribers away, or rather prevented those subscribers from signing up for Netflix, because I mean, I know Disney Plus has been on a fucking roll, for which I am eternally thankful as a Disney shareholder. I am not a Netflix shareholder. So I'm eternally thankful for that. I don't know if Disney Plus is going to pull or prevent subscribers from signing up to Netflix. So I really need to go and read that earnings report and call. Or I'll just have my buddy in finance, Pawsy D, just give me the précis. In fact, I might do that as soon as I finish recording this video. But anyway, there has been an exorbitant amount of digital content that has been consumed over the last 7 months, and eventually shit is going to run out. I mean, Netflix and Disney and Hulu and YouTube TV and HBO Max and any number of other digital content providers can pump plenty of older stuff on, but there is still a very large demand for original content. We're certainly not getting things in movie theaters, or we are, just no one's going. So direct-to-consumer is the way of not even the future, but the present. AMC theaters are likely to go bankrupt. Most, if not all, theaters are likely to go bankrupt, which is very unfortunate. Very unfortunate because, I mean, that's like a treat, going out to the movies with your friend or your partner or your kids or whatever. Because let's be honest, watching something for the first time in your living room is great because it's your living room, but it is not the same thing as seeing it in a movie theater. So I think if the movie theater sector survives, there'll be very, very few survivors, if more than one, honestly. And they may very well likely be like smaller private companies. So I don't know. We'll see next time around.